Welcome to a Wayne County Bicentennial Minute in celebration of Wayne County, New York's unique history, which spans 200 years and is historic to the core. Samuel Ward was a fugitive slave, an ardent abolitionist, and noted author. He was also Wayne County's first African-American pastor. Samuel Ringgold Ward, 1817 to 1866, was born to slave parents on the eastern shore of Maryland. In 1820, his family escaped to New Jersey, and in 1826, they settled in New York, where Samuel received his education. In 1839, he was licensed to preach and became a lecturer for the American Anti-Slavery Society. This was how he came to South Butler in February 1841 to lecture at the Congregational Church. In 1855, in his published book, Autobiography of a Fugitive Negro, his anti-slavery labors in the U.S., Canada, and England, he recalls his meeting in South Butler.
The meeting was attended by some steady, honest farmers and others, with their wives and daughters. It was holden in the Congregational Church, as was and still is the custom in that region. The lecturer was invited to tea by a gentleman of prominence in the neighborhood, George Candy, Esquire, who had a heart warm in the anti-slavery cause.
Shortly after his visit, Dr. Clareton Campbell wrote, inviting Samuel to become pastor of the South Butler Congregational Church. He spent 2 years in South Butler and buried his firstborn son there. In 1843, he resigned his post and moved to Geneva to be treated for a disease of the throat. His second assignment as pastor was to another white congregation in Cortland. He also published a newspaper reflecting his abolitionist views. He earned a reputation as the Black Daniel Webster and was also nominated as a candidate for Vice President of the United States representing the Liberty Party. Ward fled to Canada in 1851 on a Lake Champlain steamboat because of his involvement in the rescue of the fugitive slave William Jerry Henry. From 1851 to 1866, he served as an agent of the Anti-Slavery Society of Canada, as well as a member of its executive committee, lecturing against slavery, as he had done in the United States. In 1855, he was given 50 acres of land in Kingston, Jamaica, where he moved and became pastor of a small Baptist church as well as a farmer. He died in 1866, having lived to see the end of the Civil War in America. It's clear from his writing that he placed great value on his years in South Butler.
I beg to state that I never taught on this subject what I did not then and do not now believe. I seriously believe that the prejudice of the whites against Negroes is a constant source of temptation to the latter to hate the former. I also believe that the same prejudice will aggravate the perdition of both, and I pray, therefore, that my people may be saved from that hatred and made forgiving. And for the whites of America, my highest wish is that they may all become like a people of South Butler, thus removing danger from themselves, and by doing justly remove the most insidious of temptations from my people, whom God knows they have injured enough already.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.